The sun had barely risen over the hills of Israel when God spoke to a man named Hosea. The morning air was still cool, and the streets were quiet. Merchants had not yet opened their stalls. Children had not yet begun their games. It was the kind of peaceful morning when everything felt calm. But the message God gave Hosea that day would change his life forever. Hosea, God said gently, I want you to do something very difficult. I want you to marry a woman named Gomer. Hosea listened carefully. He trusted God. He had always tried to obey, even when it was hard. But this command was different from anything he had ever heard before. God continued speaking. Gomer will not always be faithful to you. She will make choices that will hurt you deeply. But I want you to love her anyway. Your life together will show my people how much I love them, even when they turn away from me. Hosea stood still, his heart pounding. He knew God's voice. He knew this was not a dream or a mistake. Yet the thought of loving someone who might betray him filled him with fear. No one wants to be hurt. No one wants their heart broken. Still, Hosea believed that God's ways were wiser than his own. So Hosea obeyed. He went into the town and found Gomer. She was beautiful, with bright eyes and a confident smile. People noticed her when she walked by. She laughed easily and spoke boldly. But there was also a restless spirit inside her, a hunger for attention and excitement that never seemed to settle. When Hosea told her he wanted to marry her, she was surprised. A prophet choosing her as his wife was not something she had expected. Yet she agreed. Perhaps she thought life with Hosea would be safe. Perhaps she was curious. Or perhaps, deep inside, she hoped for a fresh start. Their wedding day was filled with joy. Friends gathered to celebrate. Music played. Families shared food and laughter. Hosea looked at Gomer with hope in his eyes. He believed love could grow strong between them. He believed that faithfulness could be learned. He believed that God would help them build a good life together. For a while, everything seemed peaceful. They settled into their home. The mornings were busy with simple tasks, grinding grain, fetching water, preparing meals. In the evenings, they sat together and talked about their dreams. Soon, Gomer gave birth to their first child, a son. Hosea held the baby in his arms and felt a wave of joy wash over him. The tiny fingers curled around his own, and his heart swelled with love. God told Hosea to name the child Jezreel, a name that carried a message about the future of Israel. It was not just a name, it was a reminder that God was watching his people and calling them back to him. Later, Gomer gave birth to a daughter. Then another son. Their house filled with the sounds of children laughing, crying, and playing. From the outside, they looked like a happy family. But inside Gomer's heart, something was changing. The quiet life began to feel dull to her. The responsibilities of marriage and motherhood felt heavy. She missed the excitement she once knew, the attention, the thrill of being admired, the freedom to do whatever she wanted. Slowly, her restless spirit began to pull her away from her family. At first, the changes were small. She stayed out later than usual. She dressed more boldly. She spent time with people who did not respect her marriage. Hosea noticed these things, and worry crept into his heart. He tried to speak gently to her. Gomer, he said one evening, his voice soft, I love you. Our family needs you. Please stay close to us. For a moment, she looked at him with uncertainty. But the pull of her old life was strong. The desire for excitement whispered in her ear, promising happiness that never truly lasted. Then one day, Gomer left. She walked out of their home and did not return. The door closed behind her, and silence filled the house. The children looked around, confused. Hosea stood in the middle of the room, his heart breaking. He felt pain like he had never known before. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. People in the town began to talk. Some shook their heads in pity. Others whispered cruel words. They wondered why Hosea had married her in the first place. They questioned his judgment. They laughed behind his back. But Hosea did not stop loving Gomer. Every night, he tucked his children into bed and prayed. He asked God to protect her. He asked God to bring her home. He asked God to give him strength to keep going, even when his heart felt heavy. Meanwhile, Gomer's life grew darker. The excitement she chased did not bring the happiness she expected. The people who once admired her began to use her and then walk away. The promises of pleasure turned into chains of regret. She spent her money. She lost her friends. She found herself alone, tired, and ashamed. Eventually, her situation became desperate. She had nothing left to give. No home. No family. No hope. She became trapped in a life she could not escape. One hot afternoon, Hosea was walking through the marketplace when he heard a voice calling out. "Come and buy," a man shouted loudly. "A strong servant for sale." Curious, Hosea moved closer to the crowd. People gathered around, whispering and pointing. At the center stood a woman, her head lowered, her clothes worn and dusty. Chains hung loosely around her wrists. When Hosea looked closely, his breath caught in his throat. It was Gomer. She looked nothing like the woman he had married. The bright smile was gone. Her eyes were filled with fear and exhaustion. Shame covered her like a heavy blanket. She could not even lift her head to meet his gaze. In that moment, Hosea felt many emotions rushing through him: anger, sadness, disappointment, and deep sorrow. This was the woman who had broken his heart. This was the woman who had abandoned their children. She had made choices that led her to this painful place. He could have turned away. He could have said, "She deserves this." He could have walked home and tried to forget her. But God spoke to him again, quietly but clearly. "Hosea," God said, "go and love your wife again, even though she has been unfaithful. Love her as I love my people, even when they turn away from me." Hosea took a deep breath. The crowd continued to murmur. The seller waited for someone to make an offer. Then Hosea stepped forward. "I will buy her," he said firmly. The crowd fell silent. People stared in disbelief. Why would a man pay money for a woman who had hurt him so badly? Why would he choose to take her back after everything she had done? Hosea reached into his bag and counted out the price: 15 pieces of silver and a measure of grain. It was a costly sacrifice, but he did not hesitate. The chains were removed from Gomer's wrists. She stood trembling, unsure of what would happen next. Slowly, she lifted her eyes and looked at Hosea. Tears filled them as she realized what he had done. He had not come to punish her. He had come to rescue her. "Hear me," Hosea said gently. "You will live with me again. We will start over. You will leave behind your old life, and I will care for you." His words were not filled with anger. They were filled with love. Gomer began to cry, deep, painful tears that seemed to wash away years of regret. She felt the weight of her mistakes pressing down on her heart. Yet at the same time, she felt something she had not felt in a long time: hope. As they walked away from the marketplace together, people watched in silence. Some shook their heads in confusion. Others felt a strange stirring in their hearts. They had just witnessed something rare: love that refused to give up. Back at home, the children ran to the door. Their eyes widened when they saw their mother standing beside their father. For a moment, no one spoke. Then the youngest child rushed forward and wrapped his arms around her. Gomer fell to her knees and held her children tightly. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered apologies again and again. The family stood together, broken but reunited. Life did not become perfect overnight. Trust had to be rebuilt. Wounds had to heal. Some days were hard. Some memories still caused pain. But slowly, patience and kindness began to mend what had been torn apart. Each small act of love became a step toward restoration. Through Hosea's story, God was sending a powerful message to his people. Israel had turned away from him. They had chased after false gods and selfish desires. They had forgotten his kindness and ignored his guidance. Yet God's love had not changed. He was still reaching out, still calling them back, still offering forgiveness. Just like Hosea loved Gomer, God loved his people. And just like Gomer was rescued from her broken life, anyone who turns back to God can find mercy, healing, and a new beginning. Years later, when people spoke about Hosea and Gomer, they did not only remember the pain of their story. They remembered the courage of a man who chose love when it was easier to walk away. They remembered the grace of a woman who found her way back after losing everything. Most of all, they remembered a truth that still echoes today. Love is strongest when it forgives. Love is bravest when it stays. And love is most powerful when it refuses to give up.